Give thanks every time. Alright, okay, something new for today, bringing you massive value, as I was saying, all types of ways. So, you know, you're in tune with the station for the Vibe Coding Nation, agentic orchestration, whatever term comes out next. You know, we gotta run the AI. Don't let the AI run we. So, as far as I can see, it's time to get back to what I know and the weekly workflow. Got more agents set up. Been steady making progress. And see how it's going so far. I would have to say pretty good. I would have to say just gotta find the right VS Code window. Got so many projects now. Alright, there we go. Guess start the dev server for the Python dev server. Make sure the stream is working right. Looks good to me. Keep seeing something about an AI cancer vaccine, and just haven't read into it. But that's interesting. OpenAI pauses. Huh. Awesome. Stream is excellent. Awesome. Okay, dashboard's up and running. Get the dashboard started. Yeah. I don't know why this song made me want to sit down. I was like, I feel like sitting down right now, so I'm gonna sit down. Wow. AI that takes action rather than just answering questions, designed to help customers overcome the writer's block problem of not knowing what to ask an AI. What? I don't understand. Like, that's not writer's block. Like, if you don't know what to, I mean, if you have questions, I don't understand. Welcome to the chat, C Films. Respect every time. I've been alright. Hopefully you've been good too. Sure you're making more progress on the C Films site. And started to do with my like weekly analytics review or research. Basically, like looking at like how I'm getting better at what I'm doing with my marketing. Basically, I am finding that surprisingly, I'm actually like making progress with my SEO. Like the site itself, like the business, no other business has that name, so I mean that's super easy to rank for like everything on the first page for Stackivate because there is nothing else named Stackivate. But the kind of like they're not what's it called, they're not sub sites, they're just like tools that I'm doing for like SEO for kind of like different searches, like different main things people searching for, different pain points, stuff like that. But originally when I was learning about this stuff, it was talking about it would probably take like, you know, a year before I started like, you know, moving up the ranks with the SEO. But I mean, it's been like 2 months and I'm already seeing improvement with the ranking. So I must be doing it right. And as much as like I've been hearing about SEO being like, you know, kind of not being that valid anymore and having like less weight than it used to, it's definitely worth it. Like I'm definitely seeing results from it already. So something I'm gonna keep doing for sure. And I mean, like, the main thing I'm seeing here is like the biggest disconnect I'm kind of picking up on is people are just not used to like building something or like creating a business where they have to go like for a period of time, or most likely are going to have to go a period of time without making an income. So like most people I'm seeing that you know, they're building an app and they put it out there, and then, you know, they get no users at first, just like me. My first app, no, pretty much nothing. At least I knew nothing when I started. Now I feel like a good deal, and I keep learning more. But like, this is not like, I've realized, like, this is not like, one of the first things I realized, this is not like you build an app and then like, if it works, it's going to work from the beginning and it just stays like that. It's got to get better over time. I'm going to add more features, and as I do more marketing, I can find out which features are going to bring in more users. But I see too many people give up way too quick on marketing. Basically, they'll start marketing and they expect results like within like a month or a week or something like that, and that's not normal. And then usually they just like give up and they think their marketing is not working. But I'm seeing that more now. Like I used to always see that with business, with entrepreneurs, and now definitely like it's a lot easier to find entrepreneurs online posting their stories and stuff. It seems like in the past there used to be like way less amount of people wanted to be an entrepreneur, and that's awesome. I like to see more people getting into this like career path. But I mean, it's like the culture is like the online culture, the social media culture for this is like people only posting like the really unlikely storylines. Like, you know, like this app started making so much money in a month, but like they're not talking about like the 20 apps before that didn't work, or they're not saying like the odds that that's actually going to happen. And I mean, I think it's got a lot of people with like a false sense of how business works. And then they find out after like a month of not getting users, and then they're giving up. So I really think that, I mean, just even what you can see me using this product right now to run my marketing, and I feel like I can turn this into a product for any app. So I basically just need to finish this up like I'm doing now, and then find a way to get it in front of the right people, because I'm seeing more and more people need help with this skill. That, and the other thing I'm seeing is a lot of people just try going straight into paid ads with having no marketing experience, and they end up wasting a lot of money. Basically, a lot of people running paid ads before they even get their onboarding process working right. So like they're paying for ads, but then like once the people like, you know, click on the thing, whatever they have for like an ad, and it gets them to like their site's end of the funnel, it's not right. They never like made it right in the first place. So it's just going to be like a leaking funnel basically. And if they had, you know, put in time into running through traffic and getting their funnel fixed before they did paid ads. Though I'm seeing other things too, but these are like the main two things I'm seeing right now with marketing, with this like big increase of people building apps. The top story is probably the one I would put first. Especially considering the majority of the videos I've put out so far have been dealing with this same concept. I can't think of a better story. So, because it's so new, and like as soon as one company implements one thing, a bunch more start doing it, some of it feels repeated. It's like just the same story with a different company. But I don't think that's that big of a deal. The main things is like it's picking up like the main storyline of like what I'm covering. And that's like I don't want to be nitpicking about like, you know, smaller things. So for the most part, the big things are right. I don't know if the review was ran, if it was like, you know, you guys did the fact check basically. I know that was an agent's job, and I can't remember if it was like you know, before I read the research or after I answer the questions. But it seems like it's doing its job, because at the end of the research, it was stating like some things that it looked like it checked. So hopefully I'm understanding this correctly. Looking back at the chat, Travis Eric, what is up, bro? Let's go. Respect every time. Big up yourself. You don't know. Big up the entire Vibe Coding Nation. Great to hear that you are doing great. C Films. Respect every time. Which item makes me want to make content? The one that gave me the energy. I mean, I would have to say it's the top pick for the top story. There's definitely like, you know, the last couple weeks it feels like nothing has happened. Like they were just kind of like waiting to make a decision. And I did not think that they were going to make any decision. I was thinking that they were probably just going to try to drag it on as long as they could. And they're already starting to make decisions that look like they're in the right step. So just the main thing is the fact that I'm seeing that financial regulators are seeing the value of keeping the human in the loop. That says a lot. They're not trying to give total power to the banks. They're not trying to shut down a whole industry of financial advisors basically overnight. They're trying to keep the financial advisor industry alive. They're trying to, you know, they're basically like, in a sense, doing what's right, minus the fact that they should have already made some kind of regulations for the consumer. So it seems to me actually like the consumer is like the last of their concerns. Like the regulators right now are way more worried about banking, making sure banks are like the first to be able to use this kind of technology, and they're making sure that banks are not held accountable, but all the burden, like all the accountability, is put on the human right now. But then they're also saying human in the loop. So part of it is like not in alignment. Part of this is like really hypocritical. And all that alone is like why I have the energy to talk about this, because I think this is not something I'm seeing in mainstream media, but this is something that affects like the majority of the population of the world. So it's not a one country political thing. It's like an entire world transformation right now. Global. Contradiction is global. C-Film's website going well. Working on improving the code in specific files. There you go. And I guess when you go and you're looking to make improvements on your site, how do you know like which part of the site has like the highest priority? Are you looking at it from a perspective of like which parts of the site is bringing in the most traffic, or just is it like bugs or just some kind of issues that come up that you just like deal with them as they come up, or maybe something else I'm not even aware of? A real moment from the week the content can use. Something I built with this. I think the main thing is just what I'm learning through the marketing. Even like this report today. I can't think of anything specific that I built. Decisions in my portfolio are starting to be more affected by like AI, how it's helping me put together information. I think that's the main thing, and that's probably like what would relate to Stackivate the most. So that's me using AI more to get better information for my financial picks, and trying to find a way that I can implement this into Stackivate without breaking any regulations, because you know I want to make sure it's educational. And then giving people like, you know, news can kind of like be borderline. So it'd be nice if these regulations started rolling out and I would actually know what's all right and what's not all right, because something tells me that a small business owner like me would probably be like the first kind of business that would be targeted, instead of like a bigger bank that's actually making the decisions to do things that are not currently regulated. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to take that chance. Just because a big bank did it doesn't mean that it's good for me to do. I'm still going to wait for the regulations. But the main thing is like my own investing is that I think it's getting better, and it's still too early to see like kind of the long-term results. But I think that's the best that I can bring up for this right now. Tree City West, respect every time. And can't tell, is that like, oh yeah, that's like a hand. I thought it was a bird at first. It's like, I don't know what that bird is, but no, that's a hand. Respect, no doubt. And C-Films is saying the most important page to have working code that is easy to work with is the home page. Yes, I would agree. I would definitely agree. And I think I'm guessing it's the same with every website, is that when you direct people to your page, you pretty much always want to send them to the home page. So I would definitely agree with that. All right, what should next week's run do differently? I think could add a section about, like, you know, maybe kind of a prediction of like where like AI, based on the news, where they see like things are going. Just like nothing big, just kind of like a paragraph, an extra section of like predictions. And then also an extra section of like, based on the news, is what would be like the top recommendations to implement into Stackivate, or like how this information could benefit Stackivate, something along those lines. I'll say that one's strong. Save the answers. Mark the card done. So now these agents should all be hooked up, and this should all be going on in the background. I know in the past, the post-research Q&A, I had to like manually work with Claude to generate, and it looks like, so like right now, like I just clicked this, the X weekly batch is not there yet. The way I understand right now is that it's working is I've got a agent that checks every 5 minutes for these cards to get clicked. So this should automatically be generated in 5 minutes, but I think I'm going to talk to Claude as the essentially the manager of this workflow team, and just make sure everything's working right like it's supposed to in this time. There we go. And C-Film's saying he's working on improving the code for the most important pages and the most used pages to the C-Film's website. So that makes sense. The most used pages. Improving the code. That definitely is good reasoning. And it wasn't even anything like complicated. It's like, just find out which parts of the site are used the most and then make them better. That definitely makes sense to me. All right, so starting the conversation. All right, so I just ran through number 1, and the content was there. I went and answered the questions on the next card. Those questions were there. So basically, I went to the next card, the X weekly batch, and it has not generated that yet. Instead of waiting like 5 more minutes, let me check it again real quick. Oh, it's already there. That's awesome. Yeah, it's working. All right. So, never mind on that. Has generated. All right. Okay, so now I'm at the X weekly batch card, but before I do that, I just wanted to talk to you about everything so far. Just for right now, just pretend that you're like the manager of this workflow. So basically, the X weekly batch, like I clicked on it to view the batch right after I clicked mark done on post research Q&A, and it said the batch was not there yet. And then I waited not even 2 minutes and it was already there next time I checked. So that's something that was not working last week. That's something that's now working. And so far everything's working good with the agents. The main thing is that just going over like, you know, my answers for the questions, just that you like understand the way I answered it. Did I answer it the right way to get the most value? Is there anything you could see to like reframe the question so you get better answers from me that can provide better research? I think the main thing is like the research on the main areas is doing the right thing. It's picking up the regulations and stuff like that. It's not really like giving me much insight on how to use this information to benefit the Stackivate business, but I included that in the card. So hopefully like you can go through that and see everything I did was like phrased the right way to make the right changes. And let me know what you think about what I'm bringing up. Like, is that legit? Is there something I don't understand that like, you know, there's really not much going on. Like, I want to understand better startups in this niche. What I'm mainly seeing is like, you know, the big organizations, and that's super important to understand regulations, which is like, you know, the main thing I'm covering and the main like thing I'm seeing for Stackivate right now based on the messaging and the positioning of you know, having people get better over time and develop their own style of investing and just make improvements while like the entire industry is trying to push people towards having AI make decisions for them. So that's basically that, but I'm not seeing like, you know, I didn't really word this as clearly, I think, in the post-research Q&A, but I'm not really seeing what's going on with startups. At least not like, you know, to the extent I'd like to. And from what I understand, you know, like there's not many startups in this niche because the cost for advertising in this niche is so high. But I think like, you know, that because I'm actually just doing advertising the way I'm doing it with organic advertising, and like planning around that, I think it gives me an advantage because it's like harder for people to put in the work with organic advertising. Not just anybody can do that, and it's super difficult for anyone to come in and compete against the banks for paid ads. But anyways, I might be going on too much, so just reply to what I've done so far, what I've said so far in this prompt, and then we can go from there. I agree with all three of these changes. Another thing with the X batch, there's like a button for me to, you know, put in any changes that I might make, but I don't see any changes on this batch. And there's no button to like click for when I'm like, you know, approve it to schedule it. There's only like read it and mark as done, I think. So help remind me how this works. Is mark it done the same thing as saying that I'm ready to schedule it, and then it automatically schedules it? Because that's where I'm at, and I'm just not sure. So if it is that mark it done, then add some kind of text that would help me know, like, you know, that it's also like saying that I approve all the posts and I'm ready to automatically schedule it, something like that. So I'm just gonna check the email broadcast too. Looks like same issue with the email broadcast as well. It just gives me the save feedback option. There's no like approve or scheduling option, and then I think it's just like mark as done. So you know, same thing with the X batch. Help me understand, what do you think is the best way to do this? Because I read them both and approved them all. So, I mean, I can tell, like, it's set up, it's just like, it's, for the most part, it's working right, just a few things. Like, each week I make it a little bit better. But, like, I mean, just this one issue right now, to fix it, like, I would already been, like, halfway done with this workflow if I didn't have this one issue. Before this system, I wouldn't even be done with, like, the research part yet. Like, I'm seeing a ton of improvement. It's making the work get done quicker. But when there's a problem like this, just gotta be grateful that I'm learning something from it on how to make this system better. And it makes more and more sense why I'm not seeing this sophisticated of a system, because it's not like you can just like set it up and then it's good to go like most of these agents are, but like the limitations make up for it. Like how this is better than like most average agents, to where they don't have the database and aren't, you know, really supplied with the correct background information, that this is totally worth the extra steps. Claude, man. Claude gets slow, and then I start working on another business, but I gotta stay focused on one business at a time. go. Until 8:31. Yeah, that's all week. That's perfect. As long as it's not just YouTube. Yeah, that looks good. So easy once I made it in a system. SOPs are major. Do not undervalue SOPs. Everything you do with your business, make it a process, write it down, record it somehow. Alright. Thinking this is a bug. Alright, everything is good. I went and I marked it as done. I understand that button now, so I shouldn't get confused again in the future. But from what I understand, I'm on C, the news video. And when I click into that workflow, the first card is pick the topic for the news video, but it's not generating. Nothing is generating. So from what I understand, as soon as I mark done for the verification for the research, isn't that when all this stuff is supposed to be generated for the news video on that first card? If not, let me understand, help me understand when this stuff is generated. Hopefully there is an agent set up for this part. If not, then let me know, and that's just something that we need to fix, because I want this to have the agent automatically do it. I don't want to have to wait at all. But maybe a minute or two is fine, like it was for the X batch. So anyways, that's where I'm at right now. Help me understand, why has this not generated yet? Where is this supposed to generate? Is it an agent that's doing the generation? Then we can go from there. I mean, when I first started this, I was hoping to take this workflow down from cut it in half, basically, from maybe 20 hours a week to 10 hours a week. But I mean, even though this is 90% done, I'm already getting down to 5 hours. So in a week or two, this thing should just flow freely. And I'm thinking I brought a 20-hour process down to 2 hours and made it better quality, and I can keep bringing the quality up. Now it's I brought down the time. I focused on bringing down the time first. Now I can start focusing on improving the quality, and it shouldn't really make it take any longer to generate everything. Yeah, way more impressed with this system than I would have ever imagined. Not in my wildest dreams. It was everything I thought it would be and more. It was everything and nothing. Alright. And looking at the chat, dgold44, respect every time. I'm still working on the Discord, so feel free to come back in maybe another week I think I should have the new Discord up. It's like getting to the top of my list of things I need to do. The list is getting smaller and smaller each week. I'm starting to make major progress. And that's really like, I think one of the main things I've noticed now is like I've got these tools down that I'm really starting to understand what's the right tool for the right job. And I'm really just flowing through stuff like, man, I'm really getting to a point where it's like this is no longer becoming difficult. Like I know it's like muscle memory. I mean, there's still a lot I need to learn, but I feel like I got the main stuff down, and everything is just getting like quicker and easier. And I'm just getting started, so I can only imagine what is possible soon. Still, even with this like small bugs to fix, I mean, what is this costing me? Like extra 15 minutes. But it just feels so nice when everything flows, when everything runs smooth, and that's how I want the business to be. I mean, I can see how big of a bottleneck it is when like one thing in a process is not flowing and when you just leave it. Versus just fixing everything when you get to it. That's like a major bottleneck. And when everything can flow smooth and the business is running right, it's like, it's just like, there's like barely any stress. Everything's flowing. It's just like I feel good knowing that everything is working. When things are not flowing right, when things are broken, it's just like then things start adding up, and then like tasks start getting back up, and then you just start to feel like, I'm saying you, but for me, I start to feel like a little overwhelmed, and like then start to feel stressed. So I mean, like, not only is this better, like if you're a business owner and you're thinking about implementing some kind of system into your business like this, like first, hopefully that's awesome that you're even aware that this exists, because from what I understand, most business owners are not even aware that this is possible. But then on top of that, like, you're getting the benefit of getting a lot more work done in a much shorter amount of time and even better quality work. But as a business owner, the feeling of knowing that like everything is running smooth and that an AI employee is not gonna like call in sick, just random stuff like that. I mean, it's like the difference between like having fun running a business and feeling super like a worker that's overwhelmed. And I mean, that's like the whole reason of running a business is like because you like to do it, because you want to build a business. So I think this is going to be something to in a year, but like right now, most business owners, from what I understand, are not aware that, you know, they barely understand agents. They barely use AI. Their employees are really slow to want to learn AI and implement it themselves. But I think in a year, like every business owner is going to be aware of this. Every business owner is going to find out one way or another. I think most of it's going to come from seeing their competitors implement it and seeing like how much leaner and faster they run, and realizing there's no way they can compete with them if they don't implement the same type of system. But anyways, I think that within the next year, it's going to be clear. all businesses are going to see the need for systems like this, and I'm just trying to do the best I can to understand these systems and build them the right way, and then get it in front of the right businesses, change the game. Alright, so that's definitely a bug. The card promised 3 drafted options. There was no agent behind it. Story options were the one remaining step that only got drafted. Okay. Had to build the agent because the agent wasn't built yet. Alright, so it should be working. Yes, I give thanks. I think that might be the final agent. No, I still got to do like the manager, orchestrator, agent. But yeah, and I'm gonna ask the next question now, so I don't have to wait for Claude to cook. Alright, so I'm just gonna like go on to the next part now, so I don't have to wait for you to cook. And essentially it's working. I'm seeing the story ideas for this workflow. So help me understand the feature video workflow. I see that stuff is already generated, and the first card that goes with that is Name the Week's Pain. I forgot, is that actually part of the feature video? I didn't think it was, and I can't remember. Was that something I'm supposed to wait like halfway through the week to get more information from the reply runs? But whatever like confusion there is, like what do you think is the best way to resolve it with this card, so I can see that and I don't come on next week, you know, wondering how this works again. So let me know what you think about that card. And then the main card that goes with picking the feature, like that was already there. The main thing I'm checking, it looks kind of repetitive. I just want to make sure it didn't carry over from last week, that it was updated. And I understand that like the stuff I'm covering, how it could be kind of competitive or repetitive. But just double check that for me to make sure that this is actually a new week. And then I guess that's it for now. We can go from there. I'm like Sometimes it's really just like I'm standing there at the mustard aisle and there's like 100 different bottles of mustard. And I'm like, man, first, I'm not trying to see that many bottles of mustard. Second off, I could go to Costco and get one bottle of mustard that's as big as a bar stool. Big up the comedian. I can't remember that man's name, but there's this comedian, and he would talk about going to Costco and getting mustard. And he would like pick up the whole bar stool and put it over his shoulder. And he's like, "That's me picking up my mustard at Costco." I don't know why I just thought of that, but no, it's probably because of Costco and mustard. Okay, so yeah, news video is good. Pick from the ideas. That's definitely the idea. So I saved it. And mark as done. Verify the facts. Read the verification. Alright, so this is something that I need to check on. The agent should be doing this. Hopefully it doesn't take more than 2 minutes to generate. Yeah, the script should not be there until the verification is done. Generates with the moment the script is marked done. Okay. That makes sense. So let's see if this happens in the next 2 minutes. And then this time Claude actually responds fast when I gave it extra time. Okay. Verification done. Awesome. Alright, so now pain report. I feel like that should be moved. Yeah, mid to late week call. Alright, so that makes more sense. So then if that's the case, it should be moved over here. Alright, now that I understand this correctly, let's move that card so that it's after the FeatureGate stuff, but before the end of the week checkoff stuff. So basically between 5 and 6, yeah. So basically between 5 and 6. So then 6 will become 7. Or maybe just make it part of what's currently 6. Let me know what you think. And then everything else looks like it's working right. I had to wait about 2 minutes once I approved the news video idea. and then automatically the verification process came up. And just to double check, is the verification process, in your opinion, set up correctly for the original research? And then if that's the case, do you think it's necessary to do a verification on the original research report and then another verification for each video? If you think so, that's no problem. I'll keep doing it. But if not, then maybe it would make more sense just to have that one verification at the beginning for the research. For right now, let me know what you think about this stuff. Alright, cool. Alright, verify the facts, read the verification, verified, 3 corrections. AI washing. So today I learned about AI washing. AI washing is if your business claims that AI can do things that it can't. Sounds like that is unfortunately a lot of what's happening right now. Businesses making claims that are not possible. So gotta get the regulators in there, making sure that businesses, especially like banks and stuff, are not trying to mislead people. But this has been going on for years. That makes way more sense. All right. I want you to do that blind spot fix so that routing that quick check through EXA the way the fax agent does to fix the blind spot for a couple of credits a week. So I'm giving you the word to make the change. And just to make sure everything's set up right. Script is there. It's set up. I didn't even have to ask. That's awesome. Right. That's good. But yeah, build the tool. What's going on with build the tool card right now? I'm thinking that one I did not have an agent do it for now because I was thinking it would cost a lot. And I haven't set up any agents as like coding agents yet, so I just wanted to make sure that I'm doing it right. But run that manually right now, and then help me understand having an agent to do this. About how much do you think it would cost? Do you think that there would be any issues with quality of coding? I'm guessing there shouldn't be. But anything else you could think of that I wouldn't be aware of that either you see I don't understand or that would be important for me to understand on whether to set this up with an agent or keep it manual just for a little bit longer. Looking back at the chat, how is the project work going today? I would have to say pretty smooth. Came across a few bugs, but fixing them was the right thing. At least it found them and fixed them. Like right now, basically, the most bugs I think I'm finding are repetitive things. Where like the way the database works, it's not catching something it already did, and the agent team is not catching this right now. But when I'm talking to the agent orchestrator for the team, that's where it's finding these bugs, especially like this kind of bug. And it is finding it before I find it most times, and then fixing it automatically. So on one hand, I feel like I'd already be done with this whole process by now if everything had gone smooth and there were no bugs. But on the other hand, it's like, I mean, bugs are going to be expected. I'm learning that, and fixing them teaches me more and helps me understand this stuff better. So, I mean, I'd have to say, like, for the most part, everything is running smooth. And I'm definitely making progress, so give thanks for that. I feel like as long as I'm making progress and not going backwards, that doing the right thing. How about you, C Films? How's everything going so far with today's work? Have you learned anything new? Found any new bugs, anything like that? Stand-up time. It is stand-up time. Today's work on the C-Films website is going well. You have not learned anything new today, but you're working on simpler work to what you have been doing the last week. There you go. You meant similar work. I hear what you're saying though. Just stuff you've already done. Just random tasks. Nothing that you would be likely to find something new on. But that's how some work goes. The one part to leave as human in the loop, at least for a few more weeks. But it looks like a little bit less than I thought it would cost. I was thinking it'd be like, you know, $5 to $10 a week, and they're saying it's like $2 to $3 a week. So I mean, that's like nothing. All right, I agree with you. Especially because of the error that it caught today. So I'll keep doing this manually for at least a few more weeks. And I just noticed some more errors that I found. Basically, it's for the visual aid deck of the news video. So the first thing is an error I've not seen before. It's putting too much information on the page, and I cannot, on each different like slide for the visual aid, some of them it's being cut off because there's too much and I can't scroll down. And I don't want to have to scroll down on these slides anyways. It should like list everything on the page without having to scroll down, and it should be able to be like all included without being cut off. Also, it's showing Stackivate up on the top with some kind of like triangle for like maybe the logo, and I have already picked a Stackivate logo, it should be in the project folder for Stackivate, or even Stackivate marketing. I don't want that weird looking triangle thing next to Stackivate. I want the actual logo, even though I might change it later. Use the current logo. So make those two fixes and make sure they apply to every new visual aid artifact. And then we can go from there. Let me know if you have anything at all for response. But I should stop asking that because it always knows. There's always a response. Never seen AI get a writer's block yet. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, sites are like... we need to help people with their AI writer's blocks so they start talking to AI on their site. If that's actually their reasoning, then I don't think they understand that a lot of people just don't want to talk to AI. A lot of people do not like AI right now. I don't think it has anything to do with people getting a writer's block. I think it's just a mix of other things, but that's interesting to me. That some of these bigger corporations would be quick to think that there's a problem with their customers having an AI writer's block, and that's why they're not interacting with their site's AI. No, I think that's not what's going on. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's definitely interesting to me. That weird triangle placeholder. I was wondering what that was. Okay. So, earlier I said, last time I checked, the entire first page for Stackivate for the SEO, Stackivate was every ranking on the front page. Now I'm seeing what looks like 2 outside sources getting ranked. So, or wait, what is this? Some random news broadcast getting ranked for Stackivate. They are, so basically what it looks like to me is people are trying to rank now for Stackivate. Like they're seeing this as like worth their time to get ranked for this keyword. That's my guess. feel like it's gotta be this one. Looks good to me. As far as I can see. Oh. Sometimes I accidentally double click and then something expands and I'm not expecting it to. No, this is good. Alright, awesome. Tool is built. Should automatically update. Okay, so this is feature video. Want news video. See if the deck is fixed. Yes, it is. Awesome. Yeah, everything's good. Wow, that's so awesome. So awesome to have everything there, like right when I need it. And I don't even have to like tell AI to do it. I don't have to wait for it to cook, because it cooked in the background. The second it knew that it had to be done, I didn't have to tell it. So far, so good. Right, so that was marked done, so everything's already ready. I don't have to wait. I can just flow through the rest of it, I think. Awesome. This is the future. This is the future. Why should I have to do work I don't like doing anymore? Alright, so I got the deck. Read the script. They drew the line for advisors, not for you. Hey, how's it going? No, not you. Only applies to the banks that grease the engine. So, there we go. Give you the rundown. The rundown. Right. Give thanks every time. So 2 weeks ago, the industry's own credentialing body for financial planners sent a formal letter to Congress, and the line they drew is worth reading carefully. They said AI shouldn't augment human advisors. Usually I don't mess up that bad right away. Come on. All right, start over. Start over. Start over. Start over. Give thanks. So 2 weeks ago, the industry's own credentialing body of financial planners sent a formal letter to Congress, and the line they drew is worth reading carefully. They said AI should augment human advisors, not replace them. They said firms using AI must keep a human in the loop and disclose what AI is doing. The body that certifies more than 100,000 financial planners in this country told Congress the accountability chain has to stay human. Here's what they did not say. They did not say anything about you, the consumer, the person using the AI money tool on their phone right now, with no named human owner of what it tells them, no disclosure requirement aimed at them, no credentialing body standing between them and whatever the model surfaces. The professional side of this industry is getting a human line drawn around it. The consumer side is not. So stay with me, because that gap is exactly where your decisions are being made, and the question is whether you are the one who is making them. So what actually happened? On August 14th, 2026, the CFP board submitted its formal response to the House Financial Service Committee Democrats' request for information on AI. The CFP board certifies more than 100,000 CFP professionals, which it describes as roughly 1/3 of retail financial professionals. That is the CFP board's own characterization, not an independently verified statistic. So basically, this is the board that certifies over 1/3 of financial advisors. They're the ones who basically say whether or not it is legal for a person to be giving financial advice. So to me, it would make the most sense that they are the same board who would be directing on AI. So the core position directly from the submission, here's the main thing you need to know. What they're saying is AI should augment rather than replace. Because before this, it was all about not making regulations as far as banks using AI to make decisions for people. Now it looks like there has been a clear decision to make it important to not have financial advice that is not had a human in the loop, so that they don't want it to be just like you go on a site, AI looks at your information, AI gives you advice, and then AI just acts on that advice for you. They think it's very important to have a human in the loop. And this is what I've been saying all along. So I'm surprised that banks weren't implementing this first and that the actual CFP board had to step in and do this. So here are the specific recommendations. Firms using AI must maintain appropriate human oversight and disclose AI's role in advice delivery. Governance safeguards required. Error detection, escalation protocols, model risk management for accurate or biased outputs. So right now, the advisories are making sure that each business, each financial business, fintech business that's using AI has to be clear about where it's being used. And this comes from about 2 years ago. I'll get into this more. There were some cases where basically businesses were lying, like fintech businesses were lying, saying that AI was doing things that it couldn't do. So that has already been a problem, and this seems to be kind of like the background to like what this is all about, just making sure that claims aren't being made, and then they can go from there. And really, I mean, this is going to be like, we don't know how this is going to play out. We can only guess. And I don't think, even if like sweeping regulations were made right now, I don't think they would hold, because there's just so much uncertainty about how fast everything is going to play out and how it's going to play out. So I'm going to talk about more now, like what this means in plain English. A credentialing body is the organization that sets the standards for a profession, issues the certification, and can revoke it. When the CFP board speaks to Congress, it speaks for the professional accountability chain, not for any one firm. So it's all about augment, not replace. And this means the AI can do the research, the drafting, the pattern finding, but they're saying they want a licensed human to still own the advice and be accountable for it. So here is AI's role in advice delivery. If an AI shaped the recommendations you received, your advisor is supposed to tell you that. That is the requirement being proposed for the professional side. So if your advisor is using AI, they just need to tell you how they're using it. That's pretty simple. So that way, the main thing is, if they're telling you to make a decision, or they're making a decision for you, to me, that reads as like they have to tell you what role AI had in that decision. So the SEC's parallel move. According to an analysis by Red Oak, the SEC has begun requesting information from firms about their AI use, probing whether public claims about AI capabilities can be substantiated. The SEC already settled charges against 2 firms in March 2024 for what they call AI washing. This is what I was telling you about, making false statements about AI use. The combination of the fines was about $400,000 between 2 different companies. And according to a Charles Schwab study of 533 advisory firms, 63% of RIAs now use AI in some capacity, more than double the rate 3 years ago. The regulatory machinery is moving because the adoption is already there. It's moving like way quicker than I ever thought. This is moving so quick. I was thinking that, this would be a few more years before it got this far, and it only took a few months. So, what's the catch? The chain is human, but only halfway. The human in the loop protection being built right now runs in one direction, from the firm to the licensed advisor. A CFP professional using an AI tool must have oversight and disclosure requirements. That is the chain being protected. Here's where it gets important. Here's where the chain stops. A consumer using an AI financial tool directly has no named human owner of that tool's outputs, no guaranteed disclosure requirements aimed at them, and no credentialing bodies standing between them and what the model surfaces. So, a Gallup survey conducted with Edward Jones found that about 1 in 5 Americans who sought financial advice in the past year have turned to AI. These people are using tools that exist in the gap the CFP board's letters did not address. So there is still a major gap. The SEC withdrew its proposed predictive data and analytics rule in June 2025. As the TechVera blog frames it, that withdrawal did not deregulate AI. It confirmed that existing rules will do the work. But existing rules were written before the AI tools were handed directly to consumers. The gap between what the rules cover and where consumers actually are is real and current. And this is not a story about, people doing the wrong thing. I'm not trying to say like anything is bad or anything is good with this. I'm just trying to let people know, spread awareness. I'm not seeing anything in mainstream media about this stuff. This is major. This is like global money. This is like global AI being involved in people's money. And I'm really like, to me, this doesn't make sense to me. How is this not major news? So the gap is structural. The accountability chain was designed around licensed intermediaries, and the AI tools are going around them. So there is a bigger shift. The pattern across the CFP board submission, the SEC's 2026 examination priorities, and the Gallup data is the same. The professional infrastructure is adapting to AI faster than the consumer-facing layer is being governed. The SEC's 2026 examination priorities are described by multiple sources as a significant departure from prior years, with AI governance woven through nearly every catalog and category touching RIAs. The professional side is being examined. The consumer-facing side is being used. So basically, the way it looks right now, consumers are basically just like guinea pigs in the experiments by the banks. The banks, where are the regulations? They're not really like giving any kind of AI relief to consumers. We're just providing information for these banks to see what happens in this. And just like every other bank mistake situation in the past 100 years that I could think of, the banks get bailed out and the people take the loss. So you do not want this to happen to you. I'm trying to help as many people as possible here. 63% of RIAs using AI in some capacity, more than doubled 3 years ago. This means tools are already deployed at scale. The governance conversation is catching up to a deployment that already happened. Like I said, this is moving way too fast for any kind of regulations that were made a year ago to make sense. Like, you make regulations right now, by the time they're enacted, by the time politicians get around to do what they got to do and actually make the law official, things could change so much that it just won't even make sense anymore to have those same, guidelines. So this is just a super interesting use case of like how to go about regulating this from a financial perspective. And right now, like I said, the main thing to know is like, if AI is making decisions for you, AI is not going to be held responsible. You are. So here's the flip. There are two kinds of people who are going to use AI financial tools in the gap that regulation has not yet filled. One will hand the tool their data and follow what it surfaces because the tool sounds confident and the alternative is having to do the work on their own. It's just going to be like so easy. Like AI is going to make it seem like, why would I even have to do the work? Like, here's the answer right here. Like, just make this investment and why not just click the button to let it do it for me every whatever, however it wants to do it. That's how it sounds like banks are setting up their AI right now. The other type of people will use the tool as one input, basically research, knowing that no named human owns the output and no credentialing body is standing behind it. So basically, some people are going to have AI make decisions for them, and some people are going to have AI help them make their own decision. Neither one is wrong. This is basically a description of what people are going to have the option to do, but only one of them is making a decision. The other half is having a decision made for them by a tool that will not be accountable for the outcome. The CFP board's letter to Congress is actually a useful frame for this situation. They said, a licensed human must own the advice and be accountable for it. So go ahead and ask yourself, when you use an AI financial tool, or any financial tool now basically that has AI on it, which is pretty much like every bank app by now, who owns the advice? Who is accountable if it's wrong? If the answer is nobody, then the accountability defaults to you, whether you choose that or not. And the Gallup finding is also worth bringing up again. 1 in 5 people who sought financial advice turned to AI. But confidence in AI is a source of financial guidance that remains very low. People do not have much confidence in AI from how the surveys go. I have confidence in AI for certain things. Other things I understand. I would not have confidence in AI. So I can't say it's like, AI, have confidence in it overall. It's like on a use case for me, because I understand there's very like money. Like, I do not feel confident letting AI make money decisions. but I definitely feel confident using AI to help me make my own money decisions. So that gap between trust and use is where habits get formed before anyone has thought about them. So next thing you know, you got a habit, AI making all your decisions for you. And that's probably not the best habit you would want. So AI is racing to do everything for you. Read your data, surface recommendations, and deliver what sounds like advice without a licensed human in the loop and without a disclosure requirement aimed at you. The professional accountability chain is being protected. The consumer side is not there yet. So if a machine makes every financial decision for you, how do you ever learn? How do you get better? And when it's wrong, is it not the one who pays? It's not. You are. The CFP board drew that line for advisors. Nobody has drawn it for you yet, which means you have to draw it yourself. So the goal is never to wait for a regulation to protect you. It is to become an investor who knows their own style well enough that no tool, AI or otherwise, could make the call for you. So a tool can surface the options. It cannot do the growing for you, and it will not answer the outcome. You will. So this is what Stackivate is built around. Learning what kind of investor you actually are before any tool gets to decide for you. So let me know if an AI tool gives you financial guidance and it turned out to be wrong. Who do you think should be accountable? Let me know in the comments. Also, feel free, bring up anything else you might want to know in the comments. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Coming through with new information steady. And be aware. Awareness. It's what it's all about. Know yourself better. Know your investment style better. Get better over time. Don't go ahead and let the machines take away your decision-making process. That's how we as humans stay sharp and get better over time. And you don't want that taken from you. So give thanks. I'm out. One is done. All right, I just finished recording the news video. I'm going to paste the file path here, and I want you to do the edit and any steps that go with that. I'm going to click mark done on the video. And let me know what you think about like making this part step with an agent in the future. Um, for right now, I've got my studio set up on my desktop anyway, so I'm going to be recording the videos, at my desktop. So right now it makes sense, I think, just to like manually do this with you through the subscription. But just help me understand, like, what do you think the best way to set this up for an agent process would be, and about how much do you think it would cost, and at what point do you think I should implement that, and assume it would be for like every video. 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 Right, 8/24, that would be today. Okay. thumbnail, description. Let's find a way to do later. Next one. Yeah, these are there. There. Future gay stuff is done. Tool is built. This feels so good to get through work that would take me like a couple days in a couple hours. And did not think I would be scaling this business up this quick. No run proposed yet. Alright, so this is where it stopped. This is where the agent should have been doing its thing and it didn't do it. The script's not there either, or that it's not there either. Oh, that makes sense. And that should have done that, like, alright. Let's see if this review queue has got stuff from today. 13 hours ago. 13 hours ago. 13. That should be, are these all X? That doesn't make sense. So 3 of them for X. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3 Reddit. Makes sense. Alright, so this needs, yeah. Putting up in the Stackivate browser. Keeping the business organized, or businesses. That's awesome. What? I was like, I should just keep doing that manually because that's probably going to be expensive. $0. No API tokens. It's like, how does that make sense? How can something I thought that would cost so much money be free when other processes that seem easier are more expensive? Something new to learn. Because it's basically saying it's a drain pattern. Like just clicking the button that is done. It just has to check to see if the video is there. That's free. But I don't understand how the editing part is free. Just the desktop CPU for the encoder and whisper. Oh, I think this was the one job. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Gemini was better for some reason for processing and editing video, if I remember correctly. But then what? That doesn't make sense that it's 0. There we go. Like, how can it be so easy? How come I used to take so long to generate all this stuff? It's like, wow. Why is every business not already doing this? Okay, that should have worked. Right. Oh, awesome. All right, so I think I found a bug. So for the feature video, I clicked done. The tool is live because I checked out the tool and it looks good to me. And I've been waiting like 10 minutes now for pick the worked example. For view the recommended run, it is not showing it yet. So I thought there's supposed to be an agent, just like with the other workflow. I guess this is different because it relies on a tool being live first, but also it has that pick the worked example card that's unique to this workflow. But basically, I want to make sure that this is fixed in every similar video workflow in the future carries over the fix, and that is the agent should be seeing when the tool is live. The agent should be marking that as done. Right now you're saying that we should do this manually, so that's fine. So I'm guessing that includes marking when the tool is done, which I did. But then as soon as the tool is marked live, from what I understand, there should be an agent that we'll see that, we'll look for that, we'll see that, and then we'll generate everything that comes next. And it looks like maybe that would just be the worked example and the outline. And then when I approve the outline, then everything else is created. If I'm understanding this correctly, that's awesome. If not, let me know how I'm confused. And looks like I should have read the final results from this because you want something else from me for this first video. I'm going to read it and let you know. That's awesome. When I recorded that and I like messed up on that first like paragraph or whatever, and I said start over, and I did it like 3 times in a row, like very deliberately. I was testing it to see if it would pick up on that, and then know to like cut that messed up part out, and it did that exactly the way I wanted it to. Okay, so I see what you're saying right now, and I agree that just basically everything you're saying. Two notes on the flow, especially at the end. I agree with that. And I'm gonna do the publishing off stream. So I'm gonna go to record the feature video now, and I was just telling you about what I found for the issue there. So let me know why it's not working and how to fix it and to make sure that it stays fixed in the future. Um, if it's anything about building an agent different from what I already understood, just let me know before you build it so I can approve. And let me know if I missed anything, if you needed any more information from this last response you gave me that I didn't respond to. It looks like I got it all. Welcome to the chat. Roop dog. Roop. Respect every time. Big up yourself. Am I using Claude? Mostly yes. Mostly Claude with the coding, and then mostly Codex with the auditing. Codex mostly for images. And now that I'm building, which takes me to your next question. What am I developing? Right now I'm developing agent workflows and agent teams, like AI employees, for the organic marketing versus organic marketing, and then I'll do a team for paid ads. And basically it's a workflow of AI agents that are helping me with the marketing, so I'm staying the human in the loop, still making the CEO decisions. Basically AI employees for Stackivate. Stackivate is the first business that I have launched in this challenge. Stackivate's been live, taking payments about, I don't know, 2 to 3 months now. First app I built, that was like first paid app that I built. got to see what it's like to launch to 0 users, and now my marketing has not even been 2 months and I'm already getting users from the marketing, and it's all organic marketing so far. And so your next question, what is my background? Entrepreneur, marketing. Marketing is my strongest skill, I would have to say, in business. I've been an entrepreneur. My biggest business was building a publishing company, starting just writing, being the only one writing the books, to hiring writers and branching out, scaling up through that. Had a few other businesses too, but marketing has been like my like biggest, the thing I enjoy learning the most, what I'm most interested in learning about in business. So I feel like I have a very good understanding of marketing, and I got into, I've been like using AI for a good like 2 years, pretty heavily. So I already understood AI, and then once the coding capabilities got better, and I started kind of like thinking about AI employees and wanting to build them, especially for my marketing and understanding what's possible. That's been like my greatest like skill in this building, what I've found. So that seems to be like where I'm really doubling down on, what I like building the most, where I feel like my skills are like giving me an advantage, is definitely building out AI employees and business systems that are customized for the business. And that's where I'm at in my journey right now. So sure, I will get better at this skill, and I will be learning many more skills, but I think this is a big foundation. I think well, I know too, from what I'm seeing, is that the majority of people that are launching apps right now, they launch to like nothing, no users, nobody can find them. The more apps that are being built, the harder it is to find any one app. Needle in a haystack. So like, I didn't even start building this thinking like this could be valuable to other people, but now as I'm building it out, I'm definitely seeing a lot of potential. I'd like to make this into a product. I'm gonna find some way to build or launch customized marketing teams, and then branch out into other types of workflows, starting with the marketing, seeing really big need for people who are developing apps right now that don't understand marketing. And if I can just build them a workflow like this, not only is it gonna like take away a lot of their learning curve, but it's going to like drastically cut down the time it takes to do their marketing each week or month or however often they do it. So if you got any more questions, feel free, let me know. If you're working on anything cool, you can let me know the name of it. I can Google it. I can let you know what I think. If you'd like to check out Stackivate, it looks like you're in YouTube. The link should be in the YouTube description, or you could just Google it, Stackivate. Let me know what you think. There is a very generous free tier that hopefully a lot of people get a lot of value out of. I'm not trying to make anything that you have to pay to use the site to get value out of it. I'm hoping that with the free tier is so good that people will see how much value they get out of it, that it makes more sense to them what the paid pro tier does and how it would help them even more. So that's where I'm at right about now. And I guess I gotta be checking on Claude. It's like Claude is done cooking. So you're saying it sounds great. You're building a property management AI agent. So it looks like some kind of real estate AI agent. Using Google Anti-Gravity, Gemini Flash 3.7. I think you mean Gemini Flash 3.7 decision making isn't very good, so you have had to integrate a Perplexity peer review, basically like an audit. I know Gemini Flash right now through OpenRouter, I believe it's like 75% off. So maybe, I don't know if you knew that, if you're going through OpenRouter, you'd probably save some money. I don't know if Gemini's got the same deal. But I mean, out of everything you're saying, I think the one piece of advice I could give you that would help you the most is it's better to pay a little bit extra for a model that does the job right than to have to basically like build more steps. Like, I get it, audit. By peer review, I'm just guessing that you mean like auditing to making sure like all the information is correct. But I mean, that's still, I would recommend still doing. But if you have any question at all over the model you're using, I'm guessing your bill, if you went to like the right model, probably would not go up that much. It would probably be like so small that it would be totally worth it in the time you would save and the errors that you would catch. So I think that's the best thing I can say. And you know, when it's done, feel free, let me know the name of it. You can find it on Google. I can kind of give you any advice about helping you to market, stuff like that. Definitely you know, contact me through any of my social links if you have any questions about building out like any kind of custom workflows or anything like that. And I guess, how do you plan on marketing this? Do you have a background in property management that you kind of know your first users that you can get this in front of to get feedback? And then beyond that, what is kind of your general plan for marketing? So I thought, not a broken agent, a missing one. Awesome, let's see if it worked. Yeah, looking good. So this should be here, but after the facts check. I don't know if that makes sense. All right, so that all makes sense, and I agree with what you're saying. So, I just went back to that workflow and I checked, and I, picked the worked example as the next card. I clicked view the recommended run, and everything came up like it was supposed to. I did not click mark done. I just went to see if the next card, rundown and outline for read the script. It's not showing me that. It's saying that there needs to be a fact check first. And that's where I'm confused, because I don't see anything about a fact check in the workflow. There's no card for it. So what I'm wondering is, does picking the worked example also consider to be a fact check? Because that doesn't make sense to me. You know, I think, what is your recommendation? That, I guess, first, the best way to do this is help me understand, do I understand this correctly? If I don't understand it correctly, explain it to me, the part I'm confused about, and then give me your best recommendation for how to handle this. Because I'm just confused, because I don't understand this. The main thing is, like, where is this validation happening, this fact check happening, and how do I, like, even approve it or check it? Alright, let's see if it worked the way it's supposed to. Yes, it did. Yeah. Weird. Alright, so it looks like I found another bug. Visual aid deck for the feature video. It enlarged the Stackivate logo so that it basically overlaps with the visual aid deck and the text that's on that. That should not be happening. It was fine before, whatever, you know, I told you to make that last fix and carry it over, and it did, but it just made everything bigger so that it's like overlapping. So, I don't know what you think is the best thing to do, just to like make it back to the size it was before so it doesn't overlap. I don't know like what your abilities are to just like automatically make it big but still not overlap. Let me know what you think is best. And then just go make the change and I'll tell you what I think. Yeah, that looks bad. It's not gonna work. It's like, why did you do that? Fix one bug and it makes another sometimes. But this is part of the process. And then when I find it, I can fix it. And over time, everything gets better. Get up, stand up. Works. Yeah, fix. Good is good. Give thanks every time. All right, so 2 weeks ago, the industry's own credentialing body for financial planners. Start over. Start over. Give thanks. 2 weeks ago, the industry's own credentialing body for financial planners sent a formal letter to Congress, and the line they drew is worth reading carefully. They said AI should augment human advisors, not replace them. They said firms using AI must keep a human in the loop and disclose what AI is doing. The body that certifies more than 100,000 financial planners in the United States of America told Congress the accountability chain has to stay human. Here's what they did not say. They did not say anything about you, the consumer, the person using an AI money tool on their phone right now, with no named human owner of what it tells them, no disclosure requirement aimed at them, no credentialing body standing between them, and whatever the model surfaces. So the professional side of this industry is getting a human line drawn around it, while the consumer side is not. So this week I built a free tool that draws that line for you personally. 2 questions, about 2 minutes, no sign up. You mark every source that has actually moved your money. You name the one that most often pulls the trigger, and it hands you back an accountability map. Who stands behind each voice you act on, and what arrangement your money is really living under. One of its 3 verdicts lands on a sentence I want you to hear. So I'm going to show you what it's all about. So first we have got the trap, and it is named. Most people have never laid out their full mix of guidance sources and looked at it once. The question isn't which sources you have access to. It's which one actually guides you, which one drives you, which one do you put the most weight on. Are you even aware of this? So the trap is a mismatch between the inventory and the driver. A person can have a licensed advisor and still be moved day to day by an AI chatbot or some kind of social media influencer. The tool is tracking which voice actually moves you, not just which voices you have access to. So the accountability stakes are not equal across sources. When a call from the no accountability tier goes wrong, there is no regulator, no standard, no insurance, no one to call. The outcome is fully yours. The decision right now mostly isn't. So, the rules that exist in this space bind humans, not feeds. A licensed advisor can lose something real by steering you badly, which is exactly why their guidance costs money and a chatbot is free. Free guidance isn't automatically wrong. It just means you're the only quality control it will ever pass through. So the accountability belongs to you. Accountability and quality are different axes. An accountable source can be wrong. An unaccountable one can be right. The map is not quality ranking. What this map shows is something else. When a call goes bad, when voices leave something standing next to you, and which one leaves you alone with an outcome they weren't very confident about. So, this tool's own disclaimer is worth saying. It reflects a plain language read on where accountability generally sits for common guidance sources. This is not legal advice, it's not financial advice, and it's not a claim about any specific company, product, or professional. Regulatory treatment varies by source, situation, and jurisdiction. This is all about awareness. This is all about information. The honest goal of this tool is not to shame any one source. None of them are a character flaw to listen to. They're the most available, most confident voices in the room. That's on the screen. The goal is to have seen your own mix plainly once. Become aware of what you're doing. So many people have a financial advisor, yet they take advice from a television show, an influencer, somebody on Facebook that they saw just made a big move. And even though the financial advisor might be the one to make the decisions, if they call their financial advisor and they tell them do this, the financial advisor, who knows, they might do it. They might try to talk you out of it. But either way, it's all about being aware of what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. So why did I build this? The CFP board letter to Congress drew exactly the line the tool names. The accountability chain has to stay human on the professional side. That protection runs from the firm to the advisor. It does not yet run from the advisor to the consumer. So the consumer using AI money tools today has no named human owner of that tool's output. The tool exists to hand that map back to the person using it because no one else is going to hand it to them. According to a Gallup survey conducted with Edward Jones, about 1 in 5 Americans who sought financial advice in the past year turned to AI. That is the common case for this tool. That is why I built it. This tool just, if you have any confusion about this, and this has been a major pain point that I've seen, is a lot of confusion or just lack of awareness, it's going to solve both of those problems. So I'm going to run you through a demo of this tool. First one I'm going to do is a demo based on the research I've done to find this pain point. This is how basically the majority of people I've seen from my research, the way that they do their investing. So the first thing is to basically click which of these have actually moved your money in the last year. Mark all that apply. So most people do not use a financial advisor. Most people, they go off of their bank or broker's apps nudges, a general AI chatbot, just asking general questions, and social media. From what I've seen, social media seems to be the biggest one by far. I see the majority of people on social media, beginners especially, going there to ask questions, and that seems to be, where people are getting their answers from. People seem to trust random people on social media, from what I've seen, more than anything else. So then, one single source that most often triggers an actual move. This for most people is going to be social media or an AI chatbot. But I mean, for the purpose of this video and this tool, chatbot is where most people are asking questions based on like, how do regulations work? What does it mean for them? So in that case, AI chatbot, the voice that moves your money has nobody behind it. And then you can read more on that if you want. But here's the accountability map. Here's where I think it's going to help people the most. Here's who is accountable in this scenario. The bank or broker's app nudges, alerts, and suggestions. The bank is regulated, but the bank is not on the hook if any of these things lead you in a direction that loses you money. A general AI chatbot. So nobody is accountable. That's the main thing. Nobody is accountable with an AI chatbot. Social media, influencers, YouTube. Nobody is accountable. So both of those, either chatbot or social media, the main sources are basically, nobody's accountable. You're accountable. And now if I were to change this to kind of like the next most common combination I've seen with people is basically switching from chatbot to a human advisor. So let's say now that you're still getting the same sources, but now your most common source is a human advisor. The human advisor is making your decisions for you in the background, and in most cases, people just kind of like, check in on their balance every once in a while. So right now it shifts. Your moves mostly start where accountability actually exists. So now you do have some accountability, and this lets you know the licensed human advisor, your usual trigger. Someone is professionally accountable, but now you can see everything else. Nobody is accountable. So now when it comes down to me, I'm going to do this like basically how I invest. I do not use a human advisor. I do get help from a robo advisor that I created myself. I don't really go off my bank's apps or nudges. General chatbot, I do have AI help me, give me more information to make better decision. Social media, I still check in and listen to them, but as I get better at investing, I find that I feel to do this less and less. Friends or family who invest, I stopped asking those guys a long time ago. They operate very differently than how I operate, and I know that their plan is not the plan that works for me, so I don't even ask them anymore. My own research and a plan I wrote down, that's number one for me every time. So my own research and a plan I wrote down, I'm my own accountable party. You know, a robo advisor, someone is professionally accountable. That's a new one that I've learned here. Basically, you know, I'm not getting my final say off the robo advisor, but I have been just like, you know, using them to see what they do, and maybe it gives me some advice on my own decisions. But I mean, this is basically this tool. You know, you can check it out for yourself, do your own combination, get your map, find out what works best for you. Most importantly, be aware. Be aware of the risks that you're taking using AI. The way that finance is moving looks like it's going to be implemented, probably implemented already in one of your banks and you're not aware of it. But the role it's going to play is going to become more and more increasingly bigger, increasingly quicker, in my opinion. So basically what this reveals, what this tool, what this map reveals, you know, I did 3 different runs, same 4 sources for the most part, 3 different headlines. The tool reads the trigger, not the inventory. That's the non-obvious insight. But, you know, 2 people both have 2 different answers. They can both be right. Investing doesn't have to be like a right and a wrong. Investing, different people, different styles. What works well for one person might not work well for another person. So to say that, you know, one answer is right all the time and one answer is wrong all the time doesn't really work like that. A person with no advisor who acts on their own written plan gets the self-accountable verdict. The mix is the same. The trigger is different. The accountability arrangement is entirely different. So the map is not a quality ranking. It's not about which one of these sources is better quality. Depends on the person for that. The main thing, notice that accountability and quality are different axes. An accountable source can be wrong. An unaccountable one can be right. So here's a plain language read on where accountability generally sits, and this is not legal advice, not financial advice, not a claim about any specific company, product, or professional. Regulatory treatment varies. All right. So, like I said, same 4 sources, 3 different headlines. We got the honest limits. So, the industry's current direction. An AI that reads your accounts and devices for you. Guidance that is personal, instant, and backed by no one. Regulators keep landing on the same principle in response. They're saying keep a human in the loop because accountability has to live somewhere. Now, AI is racing to decide for you, allocate for you, make moves for you. And if a machine makes this every decision, how do you ever learn? How do you get better? When the AI is wrong, is it not you, the one who pays? So the goal was never to outsource the decision. It's to become an investor who knows their own style and improves over time. A tool can do it for you, but it cannot do the growing for you. And it will not answer for the outcome. Only you can. So check this out. Free at Stackivate.com. It's under tools. It's the guidance and accountability tool. You don't need to sign up. Everything's free. There's a lot more really awesome tools on the free tier that you can check out too. And if the map named a mix you recognize, the archetype quiz is next. That's where I would recommend to go. Check out the archetype quiz. And then from there, it's up to you. The archetype quiz is going to give you your own free individual learning path that's going to be based on your own archetype. And you can just keep getting deeper and deeper onto knowing yourself better, knowing how to invest better based on your strengths and weaknesses. So check it out. Let me know which voice is actually pulling the trigger right now for you. Which one do you trust in the most? Is it the chatbot, the influencer? Let me know. Is it your own written plan? Is it something else that's not even up here? That's what I'm trying to understand. This information can help me make this project better. Stackivate. Everything I do with it. It's all about providing value. Trying to bridge the gap. Trying to make money equality better. You know, trying to spread the money around equally. And I see this as being like, you know, the greatest barrier is basically investing. That's where the most money is flowing around that everybody has access to. You don't need any credentials. You don't need a college degree. Anybody can start learning to invest. Anybody can get good at it and can get better at it over time. And it really doesn't take that much time. So I'm trying to help people get in the game, start investing, do it yourself, get better, understand it. It's a loop. You can get better. So hopefully you got some value off of what I had to tell you. Make sure you like, hit the subscribe button too, and I'll be coming through with something new for you. There we go. That's the first time I've got both done in one session. That is awesome. And then just like everything else is basically super boring and super easy. Usually just do the posting stuff off stream, but now it'll do it for me automatically. So except the thumbnail. Okay, so that is the one thing. I do have the thumbnail prompts generated right now by an agent, and then I manually go and generate the image. I think that's really what this each video workflow is. The only thing that I need to have the agent do is just generate those thumbnails for me instead of prompts. So when I click on this, it'll show me the actual thumbnails. I don't have to go manually do that. It's like the last step in the process that I need to train the agent better on. I think this has been one of the harder tasks to train the agent to get it right. For whatever reason, I don't know, but it's just had trouble understanding getting the thumbnail part right. But working with it has gotten much better. And that's something that I've learned from building out these teams of agents, is a lot of it is counterintuitive. It's just like training people. A lot of the jobs and tasks I think will be super easy to train someone on end up being very difficult, and vice versa. A lot of the ones that just seem like they should be super difficult, the AI just gets it right away and it's super easy. So, I mean, each of these like custom workflows is created in a way that would work best with the business. And I'm seeing how it pretty much needs to be custom, or you're really only getting like, I don't even think like half the value as like what this system can offer. Like just those general agents that most people use, the general AI employees, they seem to work pretty good for coding. But when it comes to marketing or like other business tasks, I feel like you're not even getting like half the value that you would get in a custom system like this. So let's see. Visual aid deck, mark done. Record the video, mark done. So now I'm thinking, does this automatically find the video like it was just saying? Let's see. All right, I recorded the video and I marked it as done. And I'm going to test to see if I'm not even going to give you the file path. Let me see if you can find the correct one. And then automatically do the first round of edits. So that being said, I did notice that this script, it did seem repetitive from the new script, like way more than it has in past weeks. It does make sense though, because like this tool is so similar to the new script, I think more than before. But still, I don't know. Maybe that's, I know repetitiveness sometimes can be good, like trying to get a point across. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Let me know what you think. Just check out, how the script, and if you can, even the videos for this week kind of like mention some of the same things. Let me know what you think about changing that in the future, and then let me know about the other stuff too, with the workflow for this video, and are you able to do all this stuff correctly? Let's see. So I'm thinking right about now, it's about time to call it for today. And hopefully you got a lot of value off of what I had to say. And I'll be coming through with new information with no delay. Trying to see if I can make this video exactly 3 minutes and 3 hours, 33 minutes and 33 seconds. Let's see if I can do it. So thank you every time for stopping in. See Films, have a good one. And everybody in the chat, respect every time. We're doing big things, getting better every day. And this is, like, I can tell, like, this is the week that I get this first workflow done. It's pretty much done. I'm so close. Never got everything done in one session like that before, so that feels really good. And looking like, next week everything should run smooth. And it's crazy how much work I'm getting done, how quick, and thinking about how this process used to be. So if you like what you see, make sure you stay in tune. It's always good. It's always good to talk with people about what we're building. And, I'll keep on building and keep getting better. It might seem like things are moving slow right now, but I can tell it's just gonna, I'm getting close to that point where everything just takes off. I feel it. So, the faith is there. Staying aware, brain power is the main power. Believe in yourself. If you believe, then you can achieve. And we're going on 3 hours.